Turning now to Michigan, where a September trial date has been set for the husband accused of murdering his wife and then putting her body in a sealed tank.
I am aware there's been some communication regarding scheduling trial dates, and it looks like the parties have agreed on a trial commencing September 2nd of 2025 and running through October 14th of 2025. Is that accurate?
That's correct, Your Honor.
That is correct.
Okay.
Defendant Dale Warner is charged with murder and tampering with evidence related to his wife's death. Dee Warner was last seen in 2021. Dale told his family that he thought his wife had run off with another man. 3 years later, her remains were found sealed in an old ammonia tank on Dale's property. Here's Scripps News Detroit with a closer look at the case.
We're at the final resting place where we found Dee's body entombed in one of these anhydrous tanks.
It's Dee Warner's sister-in-law, Shelly Hardy, who took us to this barn, what was planned to be Dee Warner's final resting place by someone. Family believes that 3.5 years ago, when Dee disappeared, her husband, Dale Warner, brought a smaller tank, just like one of these, inside of this barn. They believe that he took off the front part, put Dee's remains inside, and then welded it shut. It was Shelly's husband, Dee's brother, Greg, who tipped police off recently that they should look inside.
It was certainly tough for the family to face my sister's remains in a man-made tomb done by Dale Warner, who was a very evil piece of human debris.
Greg Hardy and one of Dee's daughters, Raquel Bach, addressed the media regarding the findings on Thursday, one day after the medical examiner identified them as Dee. In the years since Dee went missing, thousands have continued to look for clues, including the group Justice for Dee, which the family partially attributed this recent break in the case to.
We cannot begin to thank you guys enough for sticking by our side and believing in us when we didn't want to believe in ourselves anymore.
The family is very open about their belief that Dee's husband Dale killed her. Any true closure for this family will be a long time coming. But at least now, Dee's body and any rumor that she ran away can finally be laid to rest.
Her spirit's gone a long ways.
I think we knew that spirit and we weren't going to give up on her. We were going to fight till the end, and we're still going to fight to the end to see that she gets her justice due.
All right, let's bring in trial attorney, former prosecutor Sue Ann Robinson, and trial attorney and former public defender Gabrielle Higgins. Gabrielle, I'll start with you. I'm happy for the family, there's no doubt, to find the body. You know, it's sad, the situation, but to have the body, I think, means everything, as you saw, to that family. My question is, what took so long? I mean, when she went missing, they searched all over. Someone had to know that there were tanks somewhere on this property that belonged to the guy who was the main suspect, obviously. That would be one of the first places I'd look.
No, I agree. It seems deliberate. It's almost like there's a glaring place that you should search, and it feels like willful blindness. It feels like there was a choice to avoid this area, and I'm interested to see why that choice was made. It is unfortunate that that this woman had to suffer in this way, and that her body had to be found in such an awful place. And I think that regardless, the family won't be made whole until they get the answers they deserve.
Yeah, and you could see the anger of the father of the victim about who this guy is. And it turns out, not surprisingly, Sue Ann, that there was domestic violence in this family. You don't have to look much further than that when that type of situation exists.
Right, and it's very sad. Again, the backdrop of a complicated domestic situation that led to such a tragedy. I mean, to take a page from your book, Michael Ayala, to be the devil's advocate, the tanks look very significant. So I could see at the time them initially needing some additional materials or some additional equipment. But as Attorney Higgins said, you absolutely would look under those types of materials to see if someone possibly hid evidence under those. But I'm glad that the family is getting closure, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. And apparently they were able to see the body using x-rays. So you didn't even have to open them to know that something was in there. They used x-rays and saw the body on the x-rays, and that's what led them to open it. So really interesting stuff there. All right, Gabrielle, where does the defense go in this case? The evidence clearly stacking up against this guy. They were going to try him for murder anyway. They were going to get her declared dead. But now that they have the body, it just adds to the problem, especially the fact that it was found on the property.
Yeah, I think that all you can do is argue reasonable doubt when your hands are tied in such a open and shut case like this. I think the issue is not only was the body found on his property, but also couple that with the history of their relationship and the tumultuous nature of it. It just, you have motive, you have opportunity, and now you have a crime scene. So it doesn't look right for the defense.
Yeah, no doubt. Means, motive, and opportunity all exist there for this defendant.